Now, the second friend of mine, who also has, I think, 2 generations in UAE, he's a businessman. He's very successful. This is what he has sent me. This is on the freehold property story. So for those of you who have a bit of knowledge of the freehold property, you verify whether the information is true or false. I'll share with you. This is what he has shared with me. So he says the first one is the freehold property started in 2002, and the first batch was delivered in 2003, and it was the Greens. Okay. Point number 2, he says Emaar was the first developer, a semi-government entity, and later Nakheel joined in, which was also a semi-government entity. That is the second one. Point number 3. Now I'm giving you point by point, so you can tell me which point is true or false if I have made a mistake anywhere. This is, remember, once again, disclaimer, this is the information that I received from a person based in Dubai. Okay. Point number 3. Emaar in the beginning sold property at 150,000 to 300,000 in the Greens, which later on became millions because of the inflation. So they were simply hyping up the prices. What was supposed to be 150,000 a property, now they're selling for 1.53 million or what above. Okay. Point number 4, property ownership for expats did not, ownership rules for expats did not exist because there was no rules issued until then. Okay. Point number 5, people brought property on booking fees. So if you wanted to buy property, if you paid the minimum, the bare minimum, let's say for example, the property cost is 1 million. If you paid 10,000 to book it, that belonged to you. So this is what he's saying. And if you're lucky, you would find another investor for the first investor who walked in with a lot of money. So for example, this is what he says. If he invested 10,000 and the rest was financed by the bank. Okay. So the second owner takes over the low bank and pays the first owner the full price on a premium. It's a little confusing for me, but this is what he says. So what I'm trying to understand here is, so you purchase the property by booking the price for it. Okay. Do you pay 10,000 and you book a property of 1 million? So the next person who comes in, you can sell it at an inflated price. So he not only covers his 10,000 plus he makes extra profit and then he pays the bank and the difference belongs to him. This is what I understood. You can tell me if I'm wrong. Point number 6 is a lot of first-time investors were lucky to send money back home or invest in other stable plans. Point number 7, after selling the first property, the investor used the money that he got from the first property sale to book multiple projects with the hope to sell it on premium. And this is how many of them made their millions. Point number 8, demand was rising artificially since it was the same investor who was exchanging properties in hope for buyers. So they created a kind of a fake made-up supply demand. This happens with all developed countries. Even in the banking sector, they keep bringing in a fake kind of demand so the prices keep going up. Okay. Point number 9 is payment were not made in time. Hence, the developer had to compromise on quality of construction, delay projects, which I totally know this is true because many of them give substandard material, due to which many of the projects, they are made very poorly. Point number 10, a lot of investors ran away with a shitload of money. I know this. I know personally some people who have. Point number 11, market prices were artificially increased to benefit the cash crunch created by developer. This also I know is true. Point number 12, Emaar started to roll money into new projects, which I know is true. The Burj Dubai was changed to Burj Khalifa. And then he says, you know the real reason, which was very simple. The Burj Dubai was the brand that Sheikh Mohammed had in mind. Everything was Dubai Mall or Dubai as a brand or Dubai as a shopping paradise. So Burj Dubai was supposed to be the tallest iconic tower, which was supposed to brand Dubai. However, Sheikh Mohammed, he invested in the rails, expanding the rail network, expanding downtown Dubai, the Palm Islands 1, 2, and 3, the world. So he had scattered in too many projects, put his hand in too many things. And when the market crashed, he was in billions of dollars of debt. So in order to save himself, the only rescue that he could go to was Khalifa. So Khalifa agreed to help him out, provided he did a couple of good things for him in return. And one of them was changed the name from Burj Dubai to Burj Khalifa. In other words, to show that my presence is in the whole of UAE, especially Dubai, which is a global brand. So that was the significance to tell, fuck you, that's me putting my finger right in the center of Dubai. This belongs to me. Well, or you can turn it the other way around and say, Burj Khalifa is the middle finger shown to everyone in Dubai to say, fuck you, it belongs to me. Well, anyway, it looks like a middle finger. So anyway, this is a story of how Burj Dubai became Burj Khalifa. Here's a bit that you should know is nobody knew that Burj Dubai was going to be Burj Khalifa. Okay, nobody knew until the day it was actually launched. Now, the funny thing was everyone had changed the signboards. There were cups, marketing material, shirts, so many things which have Burj Dubai. Even the names, the signage, everything was Burj Dubai. However, on the day it was inaugurated, they shocked everyone by changing it to Burj Khalifa. So it was a massive, massive, massive shocker when it was launched that day. Next one, point number 14. The Springs and Meadows property started to sink due to poor foundation and construction material. So that's point number 14. Point number 15 is Emaar introduced the maintenance fees and community fees, which was equivalent to the rent apartments, approximately 25 to 50,000 annually. This was not there before. They brought it in, and people who purchased the property had no choice but to pay this money. And I know this is true. Point number 16 is Nakheel Ibn Battuta Mall flooding, a newly developed community, had flooding issues. This, once again, I know is true because I had a couple of friends over there. Point number 17 is the rapid increase of malls. After Ibn Battuta came the Mall of the Emirates, then came Dubai Mall, then the Mall of Arabia, which was later on cancelled. And I know this is true because there are too many malls being developed too fast, and the footfall was reducing drastically. And yes, they were charging a bomb for people to open up shop in these malls. And that is why many shops are today, you can check, are empty. Point number 18 is the cost of construction increased due to rapid development, which is once again true. Point number 19 is when Emaar and Nakheel were not able to generate profit, Dubai, the government, authorized new developers to come in, but you have to pay a premium so they could make more revenue there. Like Union Properties, Aziza Development, Damac, Al Futtaim, DP World, Al Ghurair, Haptur, and developers like Danu, which again is true. Okay. Point number 20. The market was already suffering in 2002 due to lack of transparency, good governance, and to add to the woes, the current developers of new projects that were authorized. So too many players coming in, no proper rules, no proper framework, no foundation, and it was nothing but a fucking chaos. And who are the people who are suffering in the end? Were investors. That is why lots of people who invested millions, they ended up having their fingers burned because the developers just ran away. I know of so many projects where people paid money, and they were shown these glossy brochures and amazing buildings and video presentations and salespeople. However, later on, nobody was picking up the phone and nobody was there. The offices were empty. When they went to the construction site, there was just a big hole dug, nice signboard, but nobody's there, and they ran away. And in the end, the investors didn't know where to go, who to go to, and that was the end of it. So this is one of the major reasons why people don't trust the UAE market. Okay. Point number 21, Aziza Developer is already in hot water for mismanagement of funds. I have no idea who Aziza Developer is. Danu Properties have started to feel a massive cash crunch, which I know for a fact is true. Some people have purchased Danu Properties and they're telling me they have a fine in the contract. There's a fine print which says that the landlord or developer can add extra charges for maintenance or service of the properties. When you have pages and pages, it's like when you sign up for any Facebook or Instagram, any of these, they have a agreement where you have to say, I agree. It is so long, nobody reads it, nobody understands what is written there. And in the end, people just get fed up and say, okay, fine, I agree. So that's more like it. Then point number 23 is Up Property has shut down most of its operation, Union Properties. Point number 24 is Dubai Properties is making loss and cutting down on rent. Then point number 25, most construction companies are facing bankruptcy. Point number 26 is lack of rental index, and homeowners association is discouraging many people from actually trusting the UAE government and the UAE market. Point number 27, the property market was based on a Ponzi scheme by Emaar and Nakheel playing the lead role using the loopholes of the system, which is there all over the world. All the banks, all the governments, everyone uses loopholes to get their agenda. Best example is the property market, the housing bubble market, the banking system in the United States, which the CEOs and the top directors made billions and millions, while normal lay people lost everything. Then point number 28, none of the developers have money to fund current or future projects, which I know for a fact is the reality in many places. Point number 29, every construction company is facing delayed payments, hence they delay salaries. Point number 30, how many points does he have? He has 40. Okay, point number 30 is the similar situation in India and Pakistan and US has also started. UAE developers are promising outlandish returns on future projects when the current market property is below 80% occupancy. Okay, point number 31, there are over 80 property households. Oh, there are 80 properties per household in the UAE. So per person, there are 80 options that you have. There are more houses than families, and that is why many of the properties are just lying empty and they never advertise they are empty. I know this for a fact because there are many houses which are just lying down there. They're constructed, everything is built. They're promised it to be a budding community, but nobody's there. Nobody wants to buy it because who wants to live in an empty, abandoned area? Okay. Point number 32 is the housing market in the West are governed on current data of income per household. Okay, housing market in the West are governed on current data, that is income per household. Okay, no household can reach the level of income of affording to buy a house in UAE, which the current of expenses are. It's a very high rents. Okay, UAE is killing itself for brief period of good returns and quick returns, which is always the case. They always do this quick money. They don't care about long term. Point number 35, the problem was highlighted to the government in 2006, but no action was taken. Point number 36, no expat can own property in UAE for the long run. How far is this true? I don't know. You tell me. Point number 37, even Emiratis who live in UAE cannot have 100% ownership of their own property. According to the law, only the ruling family has rights over UAE. Oh, really? I didn't know this. This one is a big shocker. Okay. Point number 38, only in the Northern Emirates, the laws are different because the rulers in the Northern Emirates, Abu Dhabi and Dubai, hold complete control over property and business. Okay. Point number 39, most Emiratis own and live in the property in Northern Emirates. And last point is UAE has two different laws on property. One is federal, which is in the Abu Dhabi, that holds a position and can be challenged in all Emirates. The other law is passed by the rulers of each emirate. So each law changes with the passing of rulers. This is why not many people trust the UAE market. Okay, so these were the 40 points about the UAE market in terms of property and rental. Now, I don't know how far this is true. This was given to me by a businessman who is based there. Let me know your thoughts. How far is true? How far is false? Is this, which point? I've given you 1, 2, 3, 4. Which point is true or which point is false? I'll put them down below when I do segregate this video into a separate one. Otherwise, if you want the full video, click on the link below. You'll get all the detailed information. So I'm looking forward to hear from you. Let me know if this is true or false. And if it is true, I just hope more people come to know about the reality of the property laws in the UAE market.